All right, everybody. Welcome back to 20 to Midnight, the D&D live stream where three heroes have to race against the clock if they want to save the world. My name is Gabriel Urbina. I am the Dungeon Master.
And my name is Beth Eyre. I play Helena Hailstorm, a fighter from the Veldrin Empire, and I'm coming to you live from London town.
And I am Emma Sherr-Ziarko. I'm playing Cal, aka Calistoga Vance, a tiefling sorcerer from Bas Serenoth, and I am here in the land of enchantment, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
And my name is Mike Schubert. I play Satus and Kurtum, a human bard from Kilmoltron, and I am now not in the Where in the World is Mike Schubert, because it's where hopefully I will have the same answer many times in a row. It's New York City, land of smoke. Yay!
Yeah. What a time to be in.
Yeah, what a time to be in New York City.
Thank goodness I got back so I wouldn't have to miss this wonderful natural situation.
You're seeing a historical day. It is apparently the worst day for New York City air in its entire existence. It is also apparently the day
worst in
when...
the world.
Yeah, the worst air
back
in
to
the
back,
world.
2 days in a row. You can't top us.
Wow.
Can't keep it down.
Yeah, that's right.
New
York
high
is
score.
strong.
Air quality high score. 480 something when 100 is considered bad.
I believe that number one, that was only briefly yesterday, but also number two, 500 is the top of the scale. Like 500 is like the people that made that scale were like, why in what possible situation would we ever need numbers to go above 500? 500 is a totally theoretical number in this scale.
Yeah, like when your Prius's speedometer goes to 150, like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Folks, before we get started, we have been trying to solve a technical issue with sound sync for our three players. And we've gotten it, I think, like the best that we can right now. But basically, if any one of you savvy, technologically powerful viewers know of a better way to kind of make a Zoom call be in sync in a stream, please.
On a Mac through OBS.
Yes. Or an alternative way to do it through not OBS, please reach out to us because we are so frustrated with this that we will actively crowdsource this.
Yay!
Because that will lead to a better experience for you all and will lead for better headaches or will lead to less headaches.
Better headaches.
Better headaches. Higher quality headaches for us. Oh, good Lord. But all right, enough of that. Let's get back to the fantasy realm where you all spent all of last session basically with the Rocky music playing behind you as you did a training montage. You got ready, you trained, you ran drills, you got bonuses, you got items, you got all of the things ready for the Amon Keth, the much anticipated dinosaur race here in the town of Gnarlsroot. And you also discovered some maybe slightly conflicted loyalties. You have been you got a patron in Lorian the Bargist who has been funding your training, your participation in this race. But now, after spending some time in the town, speaking to some of the locals, getting a lay of the land, you are maybe realizing that what Lorian is trying to do may not be the best thing, that maybe defeating local town favorite Tarok is perhaps not as unambiguous a good deed as it was first presented to you all. So, after much debate, you came up with a plan. Who would like to refresh us on what the plan is, just to make sure we're all on the same page on the plan?
So, as I understand it, the plan is... wait for him. The plan is that essentially we are sort of, probably, maybe, going to try to win, but... and this is a clever bit. If we feel that we are going to beat Tarok and cause... Specifically Tarok, as in he's second... there is a strong possibility that we would use our safe word celery
Celery, that's right.
to maybe pull back. I think that's mainly it.
And while we're racing, there
Uh-huh.
may or may not be alleged breaking and entering and thievering happening at the same time.
But you would not know anything about that. You're too busy running a race.
Hypothetically,
Totally.
I would never know about
Yeah.
a potential possibility such as this.
Really just rumors on the wind.
Unfounded rumors. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that covers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. Yep, you did.
But it seems like a great plan.
Yeah, no. You did contract Captain Severin to break into Lurian's office and steal specifically sort of the eye amulet that you need in order to get where you're going, to the holy site of the Frostwalker. But finally, the day of the race, you kind of emerged from your bedroom at the inn and found Lurian Bardguest, who perhaps was getting a little bit not so thrilled with you all and the way that you have been conducting business. And there was a moment when a little bit of anger got past her, and she seemed to suddenly make the air around her grow cold, and even left like a little bit of a frost rime imprint behind her. And I think that was the last note that we were at. So I think that we can join Satus, Helena, and Cal as you make your way to the starting place of the Amon Keth, which is the Fangway, where the dinosaurs are stabled. And if there's anything that we need to discuss about that encounter, I think that it can happen in character right now.
So that was weird, right?
Yep.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah. So
Bit blue.
Yeah, she turned like blue.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of blue.
Cerulean.
Cerulean, yes. Yeah.
What do we know about the person that we're trying to see here? Did they turn cerulean and blue? Did Maeve say anything about that?
Oh, our sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't remember, but a lot has happened in the past few days, and also I'm pretty sure we're all extremely exhausted still.
Yeah,
and
you are.
Extremely.
And a little cursed.
Yeah, to refresh ourselves, I believe that by my exhaustion counters, Cal, you are dealing with this the best. You are still only at exhaustion level 1. But Satus is
I think I'm at 2 now.
Oh, are you gonna rat yourself out?
I think I'm
All
at
right.
2. Yeah.
Let me make
I'm
a
gonna-
note of that in my little notebook.
I don't want to be,
But Helena,
untruthful.
you're definitely at exhaustion level 3.
I certainly am.
And I think that Satus, you are definitely at least at 2.
I was at 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Great.
Which, once again, for Cal, that means that you have disadvantage on ability checks and your speed is halved. That is also the same for you, Satus. Helena, you on top of all of that also have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Basically everything, yeah?
Oh no, don't worry. There are more steps on
good.
the
Great.
on the exhaustion scale.
Good to know.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, let's not. Don't worry. I'm not going to spoil some of the steps in between, but I will say that exhaustion level 6 is death.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like sooner or later, if you just don't sleep, you will drop dead.
It's true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. Now that my helpful DM refresher is done, please back to the
Yes.
conversation.
It does seem suspicious, though, and though we did ask her about Demetria,
Yes.
she said she didn't know. She could have been lying.
We do have a history of people lying to us. We also have a history of, I maybe just the one. Maybe it's one of those, if I had a nickel, but I do have a nickel and that's too many. We do have a thing of the person we're after being disguised as the person that's helping us get to the person we're after.
This might be a good point for everyone to roll me an Arcana check real fast.
Oh, would love that.
But with
perfect.
disadvantage,
Love that.
remember. Because
I can use
you
real
are
dice.
sleepy.
Okay, cool. So I will roll a real d20 2 times.
Wait, which
I got
one was it?
Arcana.
Arcana.
I got a 13.
Okay, thank you.
I got a 12.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Nailed it. Abracadabra.
Mike and Emma, roll me an intelligence check just to see if you guys, just to see if your characters connect some dots that might be apparent to them.
Disadvantage as well.
Yes, please.
That would be 14 plus 2 for 16.
Okay.
I also got 14 plus 2 for 16.
Look how smart we are.
Oh my
Guys
God.
are so smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes you a little bit of time to kind of rifle through your mind because you're kind of operating deeply in the realms of every thought feels like punching through molasses. You are so tired.
Yeah.
But while you don't know a lot about the Eladrin, who are Aurelia, who you spoke to at the top of Mount Firmament, and Maeve's patron, was an Eladrin. You know that they are a particularly powerful type of Fey beings. You did notice that she had sort of this very kind of autumnal shade to her. Her skin was sort of this like mapley color. There were sort of all these like shades of red and brown and green in her hair. There seemed to kind of be like a general sort of autumn pattern to her appearance. And given that she had 2 brothers and 1 sister, it perhaps would stand to reason that there would be winter Eladrin, or summer Eladrin, or spring Eladrin. And while you don't have any concrete details on what a winter Eladrin would look like, it is that is the end of that sentence. Actually, you don't have anything to go on for what they might look like or might not look like. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, so Aurelia looked like very autumnal.
Autumnal.
Yeah. If I were to pull one adjective out of my vocabulary
Thin air.
to describe her.
That's a good one, Cal. I love autumnal.
Thank you. Maybe I should be exhausted more often.
It's great.
Yeah. But I mean, if what we saw was real, she could be Demetria.
What?
Oh, sorry. I forgot that you didn't hear the voice in my head working through this. But it's, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's possible she could be Demetria in disguise?
It's certainly possible. Let's roll with this hypothetical. Let's say she is Demetria in disguise. How does that affect our plan? Do we still go through with it? Because isn't the whole purpose of us stealing from her to get to her now?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just jump in with another quick DM refresher of the storyline here.
Yeah.
Aurelia specifically sent you to, in order to sort of become full Cavaliers and have the power of the office, you've been sent to find 3 weapons of the sort that were specifically designed for the champions of the gods. And so Aurelia sent you here looking for Demetria because Demetria would know where the sacred site of the Frostwalker, where this weapon might be kept, would be. You have a little bit already acquired that information through other means. There is a very specific mountain where pilgrims of the Frostwalker go to. Most of them die because they don't have protection from the elements. So just kind of a reminder that finding Demetria was a step in the process, not the ultimate end goal of what you're doing here.
Yeah.
Right. And we did hear that she is bad-tempered, so that checks out.
Yeah, Aurelia really didn't seem to like her.
No.
So maybe I say let's go forward with the plan as we have it.
The two-pronged plan
The two-pronged plan.
that we
And-
all understand.
Yes.
Yes.
Celery.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, if it doesn't change our approach, then let's keep that approach going.
Alrighty.
Let's do it.
Just a mic out of a response to the DM thing. So what we're trying to steal helps us to find it like in the area, right? Like it's one of those like we can't go through the area without it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It offers protection from the maelstrom that is constantly blowing around the Spire of Oblivion, which is the sacred spot of the Frostwalker.
Cool.
So to kind of like put it in Zelda terms, because I've been playing a lot of Zelda, you know, sort of like the dungeon that you want to reach is the Spire of Oblivion. There is kind of this like bad, harmful environmental effect around it, and the thing that is in Demetria's office, if Demetria really is Lurien the Barghest, is sort of a like, you know, the item that helps you get through that environmental hazard.
Got it.
Great.
Cool beans.
Great. So like making her mad isn't great, but also
who cares?
Yeah. We've got bigger problems.
We can wipe out sorcerers, no problem, right, Cal?
Yeah, no problem. I can take her.
Cool. This is a good time for me to ask, how are y'all's HP doing as you head into this no holds barred, all rules go out the window dinosaur race?
I am at 32 out of 38 because recently I did a short rest, so I'm not terrible.
All right, great.
I think I also took a short rest recently because I'm at 26 out of 32.
Yeah, I
So-
think we all took a short rest a little while back. I think I am at 33?
All right, great. Excellent. You do have some scrolls of healing and
Yeah.
2 potions of healing left.
Yeah.
In case you want to use those, but if you don't want to use them, all good. Cool. I think
Great.
then we cut to you guys arriving at the start of the race, which has up to this point been the stables where you guys have been keeping up the where you guys have been keeping Scar and the other dinosaurs in the town. But now it's been transformed. There's like bandstands, there's kind of, you know, like people selling snacks and food. There is definitely sort of a couple of booths with what looks like very obvious gambling and kind of like various charts where people have the odds going on. And you also sort of see like a couple of like different dinosaur teams leading different dinosaurs into sort of the trench that runs around the town, which is where the race itself will take place. And you're kind of there for a second before Grima trots up to you and sort of goes, all right, you guys are here. Come on, let's get you set up. We got your uniforms.
Okay.
We got Scar set up. All right, that's like, you know, get into place. We need to kind of, you know, there'll be like a little bit of pageantry before the race, and then we can get you guys off to the race, I guess. Kind of got
Right.
tied up in my own linguistics there.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It all made sense.
Yeah, look, all good. Sometimes you're tied up, but don't worry about it.
Cut to, I think, like 5 minutes later. You guys are now in like the dress sort of uniforms that you commissioned. You're looking very snazzy. Your clothes have gotten back from the tailor with the adjustments that were necessary, and they fit you extremely well. Scar is looking well rested. And as
Glad somebody is.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
as Grima leads you all down towards like the trench, he says, "Okay, hang on a second. You guys are gonna be number 17. So here, get in line. I think behind that Stegosaurus, And when your team name is called out, you sort of like go in, you sort of, follow like that little path there into the trench. You kind of like walk in front of the people, let everyone kind of take a look at you. You show them how, well, I was going to say how like mean and tough you are, but honestly at this point just kind of like try to seem like you are more well rested than you are, because you all look, you don't look great. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to tell us we look bad. We feel bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all right.
You don't need to say it. Yeah.
All right. And then you sort of just like take your position over on by the starting line. And then you hear sort of this like, there'll be this like big horn sound, and then you're ready to go. You guys got any questions? Any last second things that I can help you with?
How many total racers are there?
21 total racers this year.
Okay.
Wow.
21.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah. But if it's anything like most years, that number will go down pretty quickly.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Cool. Guys, best of luck. And he'll sort of like offer his hand to you all. Sort of like shake it and then go. Look for me and Akali up in the viewers' boxes. We'll be rooting for you.
Thank
We'll
you.
smile and wave as we
Thank
cross
you.
the finish line first.
That's I believe in you. I believe in you. And he has, barely trotted away a little bit and around the corner when you sort of hear his unmistakable voice as he goes, 20 silver on the dire wolves.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I thought he'd put some money on us.
He
Well,
might
that's
be putting,
okay.
He might be putting some money on a lot of different teams.
Oh, okay. Well, can't begrudge him that. Oh, geez. They really, I'm really fond of Grima and Akali at this point.
Yeah,
They're good buds.
Couple of good eggs.
Yeah,
they've been great.
they've been great.
As
Also-
you are chatting, this sort of stone orb floats slowly past you and makes its way down the line of racers.
Hmm.
A stone orb floating?
Hmm.
You two, either of you ever seen this before?
Yeah.
Quick Arcana check, maybe you have.
Yeah. That would be, let's see, still disadvantage.
I have a 3.
I got a 5.
You are mystified and bewildered by what this could be.
You
Can I
think you're
grab it?
mystified and bewildered? I got a natural 1.
Oh. I just like all three of us going, ooh,
Ball.
a floating rock.
Yep, it's a floating rock.
Do I start following it a little bit?
It's not enchanting you, like it doesn't seem to, but like you tell me if you are in the right headspace to just like start following this rock.
Yeah, I think I do. I think I don't realize that I'm actually following it. I think I'm just following it with my eyes, but I'm actually following it with my body.
Eventually,
Satus grabs Cal.
Yeah.
With
Oh.
his 5, he's able to break the trance.
You take enough steps towards the eye, or excuse me, towards the stone that it actually like stops and hangs out for a moment before continuing.
Whoa.
And the woman in the Stegosaurus in front of you, who you've never seen, sort of goes, "Just leave him alone. They're the Bargus eyes for this process."
Uh,
Oh.
Yeah, she needs to be able to keep abreast of what's going on over the race, otherwise she can't comment on it.
I see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, she's got him all over the racetrack, and yeah, eyes everywhere. That one.
Yeah.
good to know.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, best of luck to y'all. And
All
they
right.
sort of go back to, just kind of like chatting amongst themselves, her and the other two people on the Stegosaurus.
All right. Well, good thing we're all here doing
yep,
exactly what
Uh-huh.
we said we're going to.
And that's all we'll be doing today.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
A few minutes go by, and then you sort of hear this like slight humming sound in the air around you, and then it fades very quickly. But a moment later, you sort of hear this magically amplified voice of Lurien, as all around you, you sort of hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Amon Keth." And all around, there's this like burst of cheering and applause, and you sort of hear,
Yeah.
and there's kind of this like massive exodus of people as like they fly from like the stands to sort of like take up like a proper viewing spot on the sort of edges of the trench and along the bridges. Presenting now your racers for this year, beginning with the Ice Bats. And there's, like a cheer as this Triceratops sort of like, trots out onto the trench proper. And through this, you sort of stand there as all the teams are introduced. You see most of them are riding large herbivores. Like a lot of Triceratops, a lot of Stegosauruses. You do recognize when a team introduced as the Ice Bears riding a Stegosaurus, you recognize Father Kargoth standing on top of it, wearing sort of this like big polar bear sort of skin coat. Most of the other teams are made up mostly of like barbarians, some people that you've seen around town. There is an iguanodon that like trots out onto the field, and you're introduced as a team called the Dazzlers, and you sort of see riding this massive iguanodon these 3 tiny goblins, and that catches your eye. And they kind of, like do a point of kind of like standing up and like beating their chests and trying to look tough, even though they are kind of like tiny goblins riding this thing. Around the crowd, you hear almost as much laughter as you hear cheering at them.
Hey, good for them.
Yeah, they got a cool name too.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you as like each dinosaur is introduced, you kind of advanced a little bit more in the line. And you eventually sort of hear Lurien's name goes, "And presenting our daring new competitors from far-off lands, the Cavaliers."
Whoa.
Is there anything in particular that you all do as you sort of take like your showing off, looking tough, like loop through the space?
Yes, I would like to use a cantrip of my. Can we use magic in this thing, or is it like a magic?
Nope.
No. Okay.
This is an extremely
great.
all things allowed race.
I would like to use minor illusion, so that like behind us, in like written as if it was in fireworks, it's like the Cavaliers, and it's like all and it like goes with us as we make our way through.
Nice. Yeah, roll me just a performance check to just see how well it looks.
Okie dokie. Let's see. With disadvantage, of course, because I'm sleepy. Oh no, my first one was good, but the second was a natural 1 plus 11, but a natural 1.
You kind of unfortunately like you don't quite judge the proper like spacing of the letters. So it actually kind of looks more like the Cavaliers. And they kind of like slurs together very quickly. It's still somewhat metal because as you are walking, this like trail of fire is following you. But you sort of at a certain point glance over your shoulder and realize that like it just kind of looks like a jumble of fire, not quite like the letters.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and like there's some mostly polite applause from the people around you, but like you do hear Grima's voice cheering from you above, from like the stands above, and you do find him and Akali much more stoically, but still clapping for you. In sort of like the stands above.
Adorable.
A few more racers follow after you all. And then once 20 dinosaurs are standing in a line, you hear Lurian's voice as she goes, "And finally, the 9-time champions of the Amon Keth, back with a vengeance, looking for their 10th consecutive title. You know them, you love them. Will they find glory today, or will they stumble right before their greatest triumph? It's the dire wolves!" And with like fucking thunderous applause. Like you don't even hear the Triceratops' footsteps as it approaches because it is so fucking loud, the din of applause and cheering above you. You see Tarok along with his 2 friends / toadies, Erla and Koran, riding this beautiful Triceratops that has actually, been outfitted with this beautiful armor, kind of this like leather armor that covers most of its body, and it is sort of like adorned with silver and gold along its horns, and people are just like cheering for them like maniacs.
Well, yeah, seems like we have our fan favorites.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna pat Scar and just say, "It's okay, Scar. We'll show him."
And a moment later, they sort of like do like one lap around. The cheering hasn't subsided, so they like do another lap around, and then they sort of like come to like take their place. And the Stegosaurus next to you kind of like scoots over a little bit, and so the direwolf team actually ends up right next to you guys.
Of course.
And as you do, you sort of see like Tarok give you like a small nod.
We return with small nods.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, a quick perception check, please.
Ooh, yeah. Let's see what my plus is. Okay. So that would be, oh man, natural 20 on the first roll.
Oh, no.
And a 19 on the second. We'll take it.
Yes.
So that's a 19 plus 6 for
Nice.
a 25.
Nice.
As Tarok pulls up next to you all, you sort of definitely sense the way that Scar tenses a little bit at the sight of its old master. And especially kind of in this like race setting. You kind of feel this like nervous energy from the dinosaur that you are commanding.
Scar, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna kick his butt, and you can have all the chomps at him you want, but we'll show him out on the field. Don't worry. He's not here to hurt you. We're here to help you.
Alrighty. Okay. The starting bell's gonna happen in a minute or so. Any last things before we get this party started?
Friends, I don't know what's going to happen in this race. I don't know if we can win. Just saying it quietly, or even if we want to. But I'm very proud to be competing alongside you two.
I feel the same way.
I feel the same way, guys. You're the best. All right.
Critical hit to the heart.
Yeah. I am also, just while we're starting, I'm gonna go ahead and cast mage armor on myself.
All right.
Yeah, what's my spell situation looking like? I am... Okay, I got 1 left. All right.
All right.
I will see. I'll see how the race kind of goes, because I do have an enhance ability ready to help out the teammates if it seems like we're rolling a certain type of thing. So I'll keep that tucked away.
Nice.
Alrighty. I think then, without further ado, after a little bit of the cheering subsides, you hear Lurian's voice as she goes. Oh, and by the way, you see a couple more of the stone orbs float past you, and then you see, sort of like looking forward, a couple of them positioned in the racetrack ahead of you. So that is probably sort of how Lurian just kind of like keeps her eye on everything that is happening here.
Yep. Security drones, classic.
Yeah.
You hear her voice as she says, "And now, it is time to begin. Racers, on your marks. Racers, get set. Racers! And at this point, Tarok, quick as lightning, reaches into the side of his, of the saddle that he's kind of riding, and holds up a whip and cracks the whip to the side of the Triceratops so that it actually cracks in front of Scar.
That was the perception. Dang it.
If I could please have an animal handling check, Mike.
Okie dokie.
And it'll be with without disadvantage because of the words that you said to Scar a second ago.
Cool. That would be a non-natural 20, a 16 plus 4.
All right, excellent. As Lorien says the word go, and there's this brrrr sound from a horn somewhere, Scar, like, rears up a little bit, but you're able to kind of just immediately be like, nope, we're holding steady. And you all stay on the dinosaur. But it is enough that the first sort of moment of the race, rather than kind of forward momentum, is just kind of like, nope, steady, which means that you are all at the starting line as there is this immediate blast of dinosaurs all charging ahead. And you hear Lorien's voice. She goes, ooh, bit of a false start for our outside contestants, the Cavaliers. But up ahead, it is... And and you see it immediately, this, like, pandemonium as, like, racers crash against each other and start immediately fighting. And you sort of, like, very quickly hear, you know... And the moray eels are out for the count. And the ice bats are out for the count. You know, just kind of like very quickly, some like dinosaurs just like are immediately like on the ground, unconscious. What are you all doing?
I would love to see if there's just some sort of like perception, just so we can kind of like get a sense of if there's like messes of like clumpled up things we should steer away from, like basically just trying to see like what route is
dinosaurs in the way now.
Yeah, like what route is the clearest path.
So there is kind of not a lot of nuance to the path. Like there are occasionally some boulders along the way, you know, especially towards what you now realize will be the end of the track. But there's kind of like, just like it is one single continuous trench that just kind of like runs around the town. And so I think the biggest thing that you would be like mapping right now, and I think that this would be more than a perception check, just an intelligence check, would kind of be just like, how can I like steer through the scrum of dinosaurs?
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm thinking. Like when you're doing go-karts and there's just like a clump of carts that's
like
exactly what I'm trying
to like steer and weave your way through that.
Yeah. So then do I do an intelligence check?
Please.
Cool. Disadvantage though on this one?
Yes.
Cool. So that would be that, and then that. So that is a 5 plus 2 for a 7.
You see a path. It looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. I think, can I see any like dinosaurs, any teams ahead of us that are not Tarok?
Yeah. Right now, there's kind of like a pretty heavy scrum happening in front of you.
Okay.
In fact, like, you can no longer see Tarok. That Triceratops, like, sped off like a bullet.
Great. So I think I'm gonna try to hit the nearest team, the closest team in my sight, with a firebolt.
Okay, great. It is a team riding a different Triceratops that was introduced as the Glass Breakers. It's three barbarians. And are you aiming for one of the dudes? Are you aiming for the dinosaur?
Yeah, I'm gonna aim for the dude steering the dinosaur.
Okay, great. Roll me an attack roll.
Okay, and do I have disadvantage on that?
No,
or is that great.
Only Helena is so tired.
Okay.
That she has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Oh, geez. It wasn't great. But plus 7, so 13?
Okay, great. Helena, are you doing anything? I think we're going to need to sort of do, like, actions by clumps right now. Are you just kind of, like, keeping yourself ready for...
Are there hoops yet?
No hoops in sight just yet.
Yeah, then I guess I probably am. Trying to double down on getting my balance, making sure I am ready, making sure my lance is not slippery in my hands.
All right, great. I think then just an acrobatics check from you, please.
Okay. 10.
All right, great. So it's not necessarily what we might call a cluster. It's not necessarily what we might call a fuck. But if we kind of put them together, basically sort of, Helena, you sort of are steadying yourself as Scar finally bolts out of the, out of the starting line. And as you are steering him, Mike, through a path that you thought was going to be clear, you sort of end up launching into a Stegosaurus and a Triceratops that both try to kind of go through the same path as you guys. Cal, you actually try to fire that firebolt, but it just kind of misses and goes a little bit wide past the driver of the Triceratops. But a moment later, all three do sort of, collide against you. And I need dexterity saving throws from everyone, please.
Well, disadvantage, yeah.
No, only Helena.
Okay.
13.
All right.
I got a 16.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Dexterous.
Oh boy.
Normally, he's so dexterous.
Okie dokie. So, a couple of things happen in quick succession. First, Scar lets out a bellow as these two dinosaurs collide against him. But he seems to get the better out of the exchange as the two dinosaurs both immediately kind of bounce off to the sides. And you see both of the guys riding on the Triceratops, the guy with the lance and the driver, they actually fall off the dinosaur. The Stegosaurus team is a little bit better. They pull ahead of you guys. And as you are regaining your balance, you sort of see that Cal has actually been ejected from the dinosaur a little bit out of a car crash and gone forward in front of Scar.
Okay.
Can I have another reflex saving throw, Emma, please?
Yeah. Dex saving throw?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. It's 4, but I'd like to maybe use something that I have not used before.
As you fly through the air.
Yeah. Well, when it's a thing I can do when I fail a saving throw, which I'm assuming I did.
Yes, yes, you are assuming correctly.
I can roll 2d4 to add that to my total to see if I can. I can only do it once.
And this is from your sorcerer stuff?
Yeah, it's from my sorcerer stuff. Is that cool? Do you
go for it?
All right.
So again, just kind of you're ejected from the dinosaur. You try to kind of be can I do anything that might even be called landing on my feet? You start to go, probably not. I have got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
And you very quickly just kind of reach into the source of your powers and go kind of I really need some help right now, please.
Yep, exactly.
Excellent.
Really didn't help. It's +2 for 6.
You hit the ground and you skid like a stone. You sort of hit the ground once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then kind of continue sliding. You take 15 points of damage. 15!
Awesome!
Great.
Cal, now are you okay?
Ow!
Oh, Cal.
That doesn't sound good.
I'm okay.
Mike and Beth, I need a choice here because you could keep a Scar going at full speed forward and just kind of have Helena lean out and see if you can scoop Cal, or you could slow Scar down to see if to kind of give Cal proper time to get back on the dinosaur.
You know what I'm going to do? Regardless, just because I think Helena's going to be doing this a lot, I would love to cast Enhance Ability And specifically, I would like to use Cat's Grace, which is the target has advantage on dexterity checks. It also doesn't take damage from falling 20 feet or less if it isn't incapacitated.
I like it. I like it.
I would love to do that to Helena. Now, whether that oh wait, but does it change anything because I'm at level 3 for it? No.
It might make it
but
last
I can do it.
longer.
Oh no! At level 3, I can do it to 2 different people. When you cast a spell using a 3rd slot or higher, you can target 1 additional creature for each slot above 2nd. So can I do that for both of my friends?
Yep.
Cool. I would love to enhance ability.
What's the range on that?
It says touch.
That means that you need to, when you cast it, you would need to be able to touch both of them. If you want to cast it on both of them, you need to wait until they're both back on the dinosaur.
Okay, then let's to be safe. I think, unless you disagree, Beth, I think we slow down to make sure we get Cal back as opposed to potentially not grabbing her.
I'm up for that. You're driving the dino. I think that's a good shout.
Yeah,
Cool.
let's let those other people, get themselves out of the race,
Right.
and then
We can catch back up. Yeah. Mhm.
That's cars fast.
Yeah.
As you kind of, hold the reins so that Scar slows down, and Cal, looking quite cut up and scratched up, gets back on the dinosaur. Both the Stegosaurus and the Triceratops pull ahead of you, and you hear sort of Lorian's voice going, "And past the initial scrum, we have 7 contestants are out of the race immediately. Out of our remaining racers, the Cavaliers are pulling up the rear, while the dire wolves have taken a commanding lead."
I think I'm gonna do the thing on turn around and put hands on each of their shoulders so that I can touch and I can be like, "We got this, guys," and
Cat's
then
grace.
also cast. Yeah, I bestow upon you Cat's Grace.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're so mighty. It's
You're
awesome.
so
A
cool.
legend.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so advantage on dex checks or on dexterity checks, and then doesn't take damage if you fall 20 feet or less.
Amazing.
And a moment after
Wish
that,
I'd had that.
I know I should have,
5
but
minutes ago. No, that's fine.
Easy to be.
I think that was a more than 20-foot fall, Emma. Once you also consider sideways motion.
Yeah,
All
right. A
right,
total
all right.
distance. Yeah.
But I think a moment after that, you hit pedal to the metal and Scar's racing forward once again. And I think that now that you guys have made it past that sort of initial scrum, this seems like a good place to maybe take a quick 5-minute break before we get to the
Cool.
rest of the race.
Great.
Exciting! It's happening.
It's happening.
It's fun.
Yeah, Cal's like, "It's happening!"
It's happening.
Blood running down the side.
How do I look, guys?
Cool.
Very cool.
It's the cape and the blood.
No, I don't have the cape anymore.
Oh,
Remember?
yes, of course. We gave
I
it
gave-
as part of the plan.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we
Still
will
a
be
cool.
back in 5 or so minutes, so tune back in.